Hello everyone, you're watching SK Live. I'm your host Indranil Basu. Today we have Mr. Pravin Amre. He's a very renowned coach and also the former Indian Test middle order batsman. Sir, welcome to SK Live. Good to see you. How have you been?
Yeah, very good. Inder. Thank you for giving me opportunity to talk to you. I know like you're so busy with the all Starward everywhere. You are getting interviews, and it's nice to see that joining you again now. Thank you so much.
No, because sir, star. You are also a star. Yes, I'm really blessed that I'm getting all these stars to come on
Yeah,
SK Live and talk about their experiences. This is really testing time, not only because of the pandemic, because also testing times because we have lost the opening match against Australia in Adelaide. We're going to play the same opposition in next 2 days time on from 26th December onwards in Melbourne. What we can all hope that Indian team come back strongly, come back with a lot of vengeance, come back with a lot of willpower to square the series, and that's why we are doing this show. We are making all the efforts. So, what are your suggestions as a coach to this team right now?
well, obviously, as any cricket lover, not forget about coach. I think all Indian cricket fan. First, we will always know like how every time like we tour to Australia, the first test match is always an impact test basically, and it's everyone, both the team loves to win that match. And I think this particular time, I think Australia managed. They played good cricket. I will say not only with the batting. I think they bowled brilliantly. I think that's actually matter. And first thing about like one should not forget that it was a pink ball test, and it's like three test matches is not going to be a pink ball. So I think that's more positive also, like because we all know like pink ball behaves totally differently, especially in the evening, and we saw that it in one spell it can change the match course. Basically, it wasn't like a disaster performance, I will say straight away, because first 2 days, if you see that we really dominated that game. Basically, we needed that. Our batting unit also. I think I personally feel like we played a positive cricket because winning the toss and batting first, I think we gave that strong statement. And also, not only just that, we got them also in our first inning 60 for 5. So I think our bowlers also done a good job also like taking that first inning lead. I think to lead, obviously there is area to improve is I think the fielding. We can improve our catching. I think that's going to be very critical, not only last test match, and I think entire series.
So we lost that test match in Adelaide primarily because we couldn't stand tall against quality fast bowling. Someone who started off his test career on a pitch like Durban and against the likes of Alan Donald and could smash the ball all over the park. That was something really special. We still cherish. We when we think about that test match where you had that 100, that was really special. And I want to know what is the best way to play in Australia, because you are someone who has done well against fast bowling. What exactly do you need to counter bowlers who can get those late movements off the track, who can really bounce the ball from good length areas? So, what are the suggestions?
Well, I think for any batsman, especially in playing in Australia, because we know like those wickets are helpful. Especially they got a pace and a bounce, and also sometime if you bowl up, there is a swing also. Especially it was with a pink ball because ball is to behave. It is to come in, it is to go late. I think that was really challenging for any batsman. We saw even a great batsman like Steve Smith. It took 30 more balls to get open his account. So I think that shows that even the Australians also they are not that easily they can come and dominate. Basically they also take their time, and I think that's the key. I think it is all about settling down on that wicket. Yes, also looking for that opportunity where you can get that quick single or maybe loose ball. It's hardly to get a loose ball there because their bowlers are bowling a very good line, but I think it's more mental. I think it's like seeing of that spell is going to be very critical, and I think it will start from our opening. I think that's going to be very critical because if you saw like in the last particular two innings, we never had a good start. And I think in Australia, it's so important to get even a 50-run start. I think that matters. Like entire dressing room settles when you get that 50-run start. I know it's not that easy, but it is very important to get that 50-run start. I think that's going to be very critical because if you see that in the last
So, can you hear me? Amritsar, can you hear me? There's some problem with the internet. Can you hear me? Yes. We were talking about the start.
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah, yeah. I think we are
Yeah.
talking about like we have to tick all boxes, and it, that the role of opener is so important. Like maybe that playing we forget about 50 runs. I think playing 15 overs is going to be very important, because what happen is like they will come with the four pace bowlers sometime, or three if you play that first spell of their opening bowlers. So they have to manage their bowling also for 90 overs. So I think that's very critical to see that playing those first spell, seeing of that. I think that's I think the great Sunil Gavaskar roles is so critical for Team India, like playing the new ball. I think it's an art of batting also, like playing and facing that new ball. It's not only just scoring, but I think sometimes like playing that ball, spending your time there, and seeing that first drink. I think that really matters as opener.
Yeah. And how do you define Prithvi Shaw? Poor technique or poor form?
Well, I think we all know like he is something special talent. I will say that anybody, even whatever he got 100 in a debut, and that is also one session. I remember talking to some media also that time. It took 6 hours to me to get 100. He scored in 2 hours. So I think that's a style of batting he got basically. This is a new generation basically. We know like they go there, but again like we have to go back to the basics. If the condition is not favoring us, I think that going and spending, it is not just only technique. I think it is also the application is so important for a new going as an opener. I think that's what, as an opening batsman, I think anybody, I think all the eras, I think the master Sunil Gavaskar, I think that's a role he played for Team India. That can be if somebody can come to 50% of what he has achieved, I think our problem will solve.
Absolutely. He was one of the greatest we've seen. This world has seen. Of course, India is one of the greatest opening batsmen we had in the history of the game. But where do you see this Indian batting going in the next Test match? We don't have Virat Kohli, of course. He's going to be away from us, from the team. So we probably will see KL Rahul playing in his place. But how do you see this entire the batting dynamics? Is going to change much without Virat Kohli? How do you see that?
Well, I think the best part about, like, definitely we are going to miss Virat as a batsman, because let me tell you, like, we last tour only we created the history by winning the series in Australia. And I think the role played by Virat as a batsman also, it was so important, not only just like as a captain, but I think he is our India's run machine, and definitely we are going to miss him. But I think same time this is like opportunity for someone like KL Rahul you mentioned, because he also lost his place from Team India. And I think this is the biggest opportunity for him to get settled down. We know how he good is playing with the white ball right now. We saw him in our IPL getting highest runs, IPL getting orange cap. But I saw closely KL Rahul also, simply because I used to travel that time when I was working with the Robin. So I saw the KL Rahul's, the beginning years where he got three back-to-back years, got more than 1,000 runs in a Ranji Trophy. And he was actually came in the circuit like he's a longer version player, to be honest. I think he developed his game for a shortened version also, which is a very good sign basically. But I think basics, he got a right basics also. He got a right temperament also. We saw that how he lead the side for Punjab. And I think that shows that he also hungry to show that he belongs to Team India as an opener. He can't be sitting outside. And maybe for that, his opportunity to show his mettle. That's what I personally feel. And once he do that job, I think we will have a fighting total.
Absolutely. And a lot of people, after the way we lost the first Test match in Adelaide, started in drawing conclusion by saying that Indian team wasn't prepared for this Test series. Do you endorse that thought? They were not prepared. They were taken aback. They didn't have enough practice with the pink ball. All sorts of theories are being floated. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think I can't just say like everything was right, because we can see like after so many years, I think Team India got a two practice match. I think that's also where we can consider that also. Like we saw like many batsmen got getting runs. Ajinkya got 100 in a practice match. Rishabh Pant got runs. Saha played important inning to save that match. So I think those are the important. I think two matches I think is more than enough right now to prepare yourself. Yeah, Bengal definitely. I think they will have a fighting total. I played one game also with the pink ball also in the Sydney, if I am not mistaken. So where
Yes.
Bumrah got 50 also odd. So I think those are the things, like I think you get a 4 innings before the test match. And if you see, like there are a couple of years back, the itinerary is such a tight where you get hardly any single one game to get in the touch. But I think we can say like they got 2 games for preparations, and more than that, like
Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me? There's some technical problem, it seems. Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Please, yeah, you were saying, yeah. I mean, talking about the practice games, they were lucky to have got those 2 practice games before the
I
test
can hear
match.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, you were saying about the practice game. They were very fortunate to have those practice games. So that was a huge advantage. They got a lot of practice. But talking about the accountability bit, which we've seen in a club game, in a Ranji Trophy match, any level you play in India, if you don't perform, if you're not made accountable for what you've done in the middle, you are really punished. People, seniors coming down at you, hurling all kinds of words, trying to show you down. This is how cricket is played all over the country. So what do you think would have happened after India lost the way they lost, and how do you think they are going to come back? Erase those bad memories, that nightmare they had in the second innings on the third day morning. So what they would have done? I mean, how if you almost became a batting coach once 2 years ago of the Indian team. So how do you come out of this crisis?
Well, I think entire team is like a well experienced. With they I think the most important. Nobody wanted to go there. In fact, what you are talking about, the third day, we wanted to go there and see that we are scoring 300 and maybe 350 chasing for Australia. Can be a different ball game, because I think that's what all Test cricket is all about. We saw like even under pressure, they were also 60 for 5 first inning. So I think that was a mindset, but I think that's what the cricket is all about. Like we expect something, and it's in middle it happens something different. And I think that moment, how you react, or rather sometimes that what shock observer, like there was a like back-to-back wicket was going, and what we needed was maybe 20 runs partnership. That was so important that time. And I think maybe like top order, when you are there top playing as a top 6 batsman, I think that responsibility of those top 6 batsmen, we can't name that this is the player, but that 6 batsmen we are playing in a playing 11. I think their batting role is that they are the engine room. They have to fire, then only the runs on the board, like a gold in Australia. Like that's what happened. Like that engine room has to fire for Team India, and I think that is what we are to looking back, because that's a cricket. I think the game, because when you next day is always again a sunrise, and there is always a hope. So I think this is where we have to think positive. Like this is a cricket. If they can bowl well, I think we can also bowl well. I think we also got that capable. Yes, we are going to miss Shami.
Yeah, we'll come to that. Yes, we are going to miss.
Maybe they can also do that. Yeah. So I think that's what I think we should have a mindset, because that's a past. To be honest, that's a past now. We have to come in a present now. This is like a session is going to be important. I think more than a session, I think say what last test match has shown us, like every hour is going to be important.
Absolutely, yes. We have one viewer, Vikram, who is saying, "Don't write off Prithvi at this moment. He will bounce back. He's an exceptional talent, and will find a way to combat the Pacers." That's what he's saying, which is so true. I mean, if you can really groom youngsters like this and not get carried away, what has been written, what is being said outside the team, put your head together, back your talent, and back your talent in a series like Australia. Against Australia, it's a big series, and how you back your talent, this will make or break a player. And that's how we've seen how Sehwag was introduced, how the big players came into the. You were introduced against South Africa way back in 90s. So I mean, tell us about those days. I mean, those days, how was if a youngster like Prithvi Shaw did badly in that sort of dressing room in your in 90s Indian 90s dressing room, how would the seniors react to it?
Well, obviously, in general, you are talking about 28 years back. And I think the journey of cricket is become a different. Like 28 years back, I think there was only one manager who was also a coach. Those was the thing. There was no. I don't believe like means that time we had a support staff team basically. I think there was only a one physio and one manager. I think we start from there. Infrastructure wise, we never had a bowling machine. Rather, I think I never played on a bowling machine before playing on a fast ball. There was no video analysis for us. I think what I saw, like getting 100, that clip saw, that nothing else I saw. I never saw myself batting before that. So maybe like we used to, what we can say, like that era we used to visualize more. Maybe we are good because we know like this is the test cricket. There will be more question than an answer. We have to find the answer. That's the way I think we
See, you're breaking up a little. Can you hear me? You're breaking up a
yeah.
little.
So nobody gone before South Africa. So we were not having any data about what type of wickets are is a bounce, but how that stiff bounce will be there, then only we realize. I think those are the time where we understood that what are the adjustment do with our footwork, where has to be my impact point. Those are the small things, like where should be my head position to tackle that 140 plus basically,
Yes.
and more than that, courage to play. I think that's also very important. Like we know like everything is going to come, which particularly I'm talking about. I never faced before I playing the test match 140 plus. To be honest, what we played, I remember in the nets, Ajay Jadeja used to bowl to me, and that was I was playing. Srinath used to bowl sometime. So I think that's what we prepared. I think it's more that level. It becomes more.
So we're talking to Pravin Amre, sir. We just having a little problem with that. You come back. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is much better.
Yeah, I think we are also having a tough spells. I think we are coming, and then again we have to make our
We can't do anything. This is the best we can offer to each other, to all the viewers. And thanks for joining, viewers, for being
yeah.
patient. Yes, sir, coming to that phase of your that how Indian team was, no bowling machine, no video analyst, no nothing, and yet you guys you could stand up tall against such fearsome bowling attack. Alan Donald, my God, lightning fast he was. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, right,
Can you
right
hear
now.
me?
Sometime I miss. I can gather what you are asking me. We are just talking about Alan Donald, isn't it?
Yes. What a fast bowler, and facing standing tall against such fearsome fast bowler, you need a lot of character. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, means basically like it was like for them their home condition. They know which areas to bowl. Like that they talk about 7 meter line where you can't cut and you cannot drive also. So they make you play for a long time on that particular line. And mind you, at the point there was always singles also. So I think that's was a more challenging playing in South Africa. It's not only the bowling attack but the standard of fielding also. We remember any age going to the Macmillan, Brian Macmillan. I think we have to just go
Oh
back to the
God.
dressing room. He was like a bucket in a slip basically.
Did
So
you,
yeah,
did
means
you
those are the challenges was there. And I think today also like the standard of fielding is gone up also. We can say that in particular Australian also, they because behind and I think cost you as a your wicket, because in India sometimes you nick but that doesn't carry to the slip. But here like if you nick you have to go back to the pavilion.
absolutely, sir? You have also been training our current Test captain Ajinkya Rahane for so many years, and thanks to those training days, he's able to score runs across all countries, all Test playing nations. Practically scored centuries everywhere. And Rane was in his element. He was involved in a mix-up with Virat in the first innings. Second innings, he couldn't, show that kind of authority. So what kind of preparation Rane had for this series? I mean, all onus is on him. A lot of pressure. He's the captain. He has to look after his performance. He's also has to ensure good performance of the entire team. And it's a huge challenging position for him. Are we going to see a 2.0 Rahane Ajinkya Rahane from here on, from Melbourne onwards?
Well, I think situation, I think demands that, isn't it? He doesn't have choice now. He has to come back as a winner, for not only for himself, for in a team India also, because I think that's
So you're breaking up, sir.
Kargil. I think we saw that Laksh movie, right? In that Operation Vijay, that was like
Yes.
that. They were on top and we were on a down, and still they have to win the battle. I think that can be the motivation that we are down right now. Yes, we know there is no way we are on the top. They can easily attack us because rest team
Yeah.
match. But I think it's to think about the fourth test and third test match out right now only about Melbourne. I think not even you go that first day. It's so important to just think about that first session. Maybe like I said about that first drink, going and winning that drink session also. With we wanted to win this match. To just wanted, we want a strong bounce back. But more than that, we had to have a right process to go unit. We had to not only just batting. I think we had to bat well, bowl well, and to win the test match. It's also like a fielding well will be matter.
Absolutely, but how prepared is Rahane? You see bits of pieces of Rahane. He's not been that consistent what he used to be. Like let's say 3-4 years ago, last 1.5 years or something. He's not getting those big hundreds, which he's supposed to get, because he's sort of player. He's a vice captain of the team. Easily, he carries a lot of character. So what exactly has been going wrong, and what exactly has he rectified for this Australian series?
Well, I think he gave the statement like in a preparation like getting 100 in the practice match. I think that really matter, because whatever you are doing well in a home series, that doesn't help you. As I said, you have to be in a present in playing in Australia, and I think that's where he started brilliantly. Even you see like his footwork, and I think the approach was so good in the first inning. That's why he got 40 runs, and I think he played again important role. Like he just missed like a ninth 100 partnership with the Virat, because those are the important batsmanship to get us to winning position, because the role of Pujara is so important, like make sure like he's tiring the bowlers, but same time it's also important that players like Virat and Ajinkya getting runs where we are up 300 plus on the board, because I think the way they both were batting, I think that was a so good phase we saw, like how they tackled that session particularly. We thought like we are going to be in a good strong position in that particular when they batted. I think that can give him even Ajinkya, like he's in a again old rhythm where he was getting a partnership with a
Can you hear me, sir?
yeah.
Yeah. So that old rhythm you talked about with Virat, and we hope this time he does the same with Pujara. And their combination is quite deadly. The test matches that we have done well, the contribution of Pujara and Rahane, not only besides Virat Kohli. Their contribution have played major role in India's victory, both at home and away from home, whichever test matches we have won. So we really look forward to that opportunity this time in Melbourne. But coming to one point, Rahane often said is not given his dues. Sort of player he is. He's such a complete player. Looks so cool and composed. Doesn't complain much. He has a mix of everything. Qualities of big player. Going out and playing those special test knocks, and also can bat in shorter formats. He's not been given that due. I mean, you keep talking to him. How does he keep himself motivated when he doesn't get enough from the system?
Well, to be honest, he's a renowned person.
Sir, you're breaking.
Me, but I think he's like a coach's delight because he's, yeah, I think, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So I think we were just discussing about Ajinkya, right? How important I think as a person I think he was, because I think he's a delight for any coach, because he's there to listen. He's open in a mind. If you give any suggestion, he tries to try to apply. It's not like he's going to do that. He will ultimately do what comfortable to him, but he tries to listen to, like, what is your point. I think that's very important, because as a mind he is open. That's what it's very important as a person. And I think that's what I think for him is like a playing for country is the biggest pride. I think that's what he believes in. Play the game. It doesn't matter which level you are playing. Yes, everybody wants to play all format, but right now he's playing for a test cricket. It's not that thing. And maybe what his preparation, his work ethic, maybe that is where I think we say that cricket has given him opportunity to become a captain of Team India. I think that is also very, I think it's honor to lead, go there and
Absolutely.
lead the Indian side. I think cricket is giving him, because not just because of his only performance. I think all the field of things actually get collective. That's why he's there right now. He's leading this side.
Sir, we missed out on the last part you said about is collective. Can you hear me, sir? Amre sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Can
hear
you
you
hear
right
me?
now.
Oh,
So yeah,
can you hear me?
I will repeat my last
That part we missed out.
answer again. Like I was talking about you, that cricket is giving back because he thinks, and that respect for the game. Because even though he was going through the tough phase actually, but his like work ethic was the same amount of the time he was spending on a game. And I think that's tremendous, I think. And I personally feel it. So that's the reason he got that honor to lead the side basically for Team India.
Absolutely, there's no two ways about it. And when the other day I heard Ishan Sharma saying that he's bowler's captain, that was quite a delightful statement coming from one of the leading bowlers who is unfortunately not there on Australian tour because of injury. Ishan Sharma has been almost, on threshold of creating history. 100 Test matches, he thought he could complete them, get to that landmark. But probably he's going to come back in future with a strong statement. But yes, Ajinkya Rahane is a bowler's captain. You've seen him at glimpse of Ajinkya as a captain in that test match in Dharamshala against the same opposition, Australia. I really loved it. The way he went around, putting his arm around a debutant like Kuldeep Yadav, talking about the game and what kind of field placement do you want. I think it was quite a delightful watch, to see such a captain. Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me, sir?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think I missed your question. Yeah, I think the question was like he's a bowler's captain. That's what you
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, just today's only newspaper we read about from Ishan Sharma, and I think the senior bowler of Team India who played, I think he's the maximum played test matches as a pace bowler right now in a Team India, the most senior player, and giving that statement, I think that's also like a really important compliment, because what important is, as a leader, I think it's important to have a good communication with the entire team. And I think the bowlers are so critical, especially you want to win a test match, you need a 20 wickets. And I think so you have to manage your bowlers also. When we talk about one bowler, he has to bowl three spells. I think that's so going to be critical for any pace bowler to how he's going to manage. And I think there where I think captain's role comes. He knows his psychology, where he's going to be important, which phase is going to be important. If he got some niggle, how he's going to manage, because every time you are not going to be 100% fit. But I think where the captain role comes, they manage bowlers, like they give that ample race to the bowler, especially when they come back with the second new ball. because we saw like what dangerous will be like a second new ball, and so important to make sure like our one or two bowlers are fresh with that new ball when they go and bowl. And I think that's where I think he got that liberty. Right now we got also quality spinners like Ashwin who can control the game, or we talk about Jadeja. I think that will help him to manage our three pace bowlers. Yes, definitely we are going to miss Shami, but whatever the options we got, I think he can manage that. And I think our bowling unit, see that there we know like these dark conditions are going to helpful for the pace bowlers, but I think there is pressure on Indian batting as well as on Australian batting unit also. And we saw that what happened in the last series where their batting flop. We created history there, and we went and won the series in Australia after so many years. I think, if I am not wrong, more than 70 years it took us to win the series. But that is because we bowled well. We got their batting unit twice. So I think that is why it's going to be so important to see that, yes, when we are not scoring enough runs, the bowlers' morale also goes down. But I think so important to see that even it's not we are talking more about batting by morale and how we are going to score runs, but it is also important we are looking to win the match. So it's so important to take care of our bowling unit also.
Absolutely. And last time Ajinkya had captained the side in Dharamshala. Virat wasn't playing because of an injury, and in place of Virat, Ajinkya took a bowler in the side. Kuldeep Yadav was made his debut in place of Virat Kohli. He's not a batsman, he's a bowler, and that was a game changer. He took those 3 early wickets. I remember it was a great test match India had won against Australia in Dharamshala. That was the trademark style of Ajinkya Rahane captaining the side. But we have Apurv saying what Ajinkya Rahane generally would do to boost his self-confidence, to gain his self-confidence. What does he do to keep his confidence? Cricket is, of course, a game of confidence. So what does he do to keep his confidence intact all the time?
Well, I think what you are saying, like that's all about cricket, is we have to be that confident. I think, and very thin line goes when you become overconfident or you go underconfident.
Yeah.
Right now that's we have to see that because of the result our confidence is low. But I think so important to see that go there as a confident, and at the same time we should not be overconfident also. So we talk about it has to be like it's a balanced statement we have to go. And for we are talking about, yes, it was a fine example. I think he can learn from that time also. We were one down in India. I remember Rajkot, we lost the test match and we won Bangalore and Dharamshala. And we talk about like that as a captain, that is what you go and see the current form of the bowlers you see in nets, take the bowlers in the nets, and then you take that call like you you're ready to take the ball. So take the right chances, not be a step very simple to win this match in.
Your thing is breaking up a little. We couldn't hear what you said, the last part, the last thought. We missed out on that. Are you able to hear me, sir? There's some technical. The internet is being. There are days when we have done like smooth interviews, and then there are days when it's like batting in the second innings in Adelaide when signals don't reach. We've seem to have lost link with Mr. Pravin Amre. He's going to join us. He's talking about the India's chances for the next test match in Melbourne. We're waiting for him to join back. He's, of course, former test middle order batsman who's done well for himself, and also the coach of personal coach of Ajinkya Rahane. He's joined back.
Yeah, I think my network is also now right. I think I'm on a right network. I think we hope we are not going to miss anything now.
Yeah, now it's perfectly all right. No, so I mean, we were asking about Ajinkya. In the last part, we missed out. You were saying something very important about Ajinkya.
Yeah, because I was talking about like as a captain, you always have your own gut feeling. I think like you saw your bowlers in the nets. you play them in the nets, and that particular moment you feel like, okay, he's going to get me a wicket. And that's what maybe like that's where the all about the gut feeling is so important, and that boosts your confidence. Like we know, like in a test cricket, if you want to win, it is you can't just play safe cricket, and you have to take chances, and that also like you have to back your own gut feeling that this is the person I can. And that is what we see, like a lot of the captain's confidence on the player, that so many times helps, because they come up also, they stood for the team like, okay, my captain is backing me, it's my turn now to go and deliver. And that is what we need from Ajinkya. Like he's not just, like you said, it's a huge responsibility on him to perform himself as well as a batsman, because we all know like how important Ajinkya's contribution in abroad when he plays there. Whatever the series we won, I think he also the part of that success when he contributed. Where we are not done well, I think he's also the responsible for that when not doing well also. So I think that is what all cricket is all about. You are more answerable. You are there to play and perform. And I think that is what I personally feel like he has to back his own gut feeling, because that is going to matter. He has to trust his own believing what he believes. Like that's why he is there. And we were discussing that he has gone through that situation where Team India was one down, and after that, there in last two matches to win, and we won both the matches also. So yes, that was in a home series, but this is going to be in Australia. But that is what cricket is all about. Even impossible says I am possible, and that is what you have to think.
Absolutely. Well, was he? Apurv is again asking this one other question. Was he as cool as he is today since his childhood days, Ajinkya?
I personally feel is not changed, but I think he's become more mature, to be honest, and that's a good sign, because ultimately cricket and your experience is going to be always a best master. And I think he's also like played more than now 8 years in international cricket, and maybe that experience he has to trust his own experience, because I always believe in like you cannot buy experience in supermarket, you have to go and earn that, isn't it?
Absolutely. And who would forget, he came into the team in place of a big man called Sachin Tendulkar. I mean, that was, when England were touring, I remember in 2012 once, and we lost the series, and I had a lot of people telling me that Ajinkya should play ahead of Sachin Tendulkar. So that's the sort of player we're talking about. Coming to the test match, do you think he's going to bat up the order? Will he be at number 4 where Virat Kohli bats for India in test matches?
Well, my personal opinion is he has to lead from the front. I think he has to see that. But same time, as a bowler, he's backing. He has to understand the situation is that if the batsman who is going to play, he's more comfortable is playing on number 4, and he thinks that he can deliver for Team India, so he can back that decision. But again, it is up to that particular moment, one day before, you get that gut feeling. Now, I think this person can give us runs, or otherwise he has to take that call, like leading from the front and going at number 4, because that's going to be matter. Because ultimately, it's all about like taking that responsibility. Whoever goes, we saw like all great batsmen bat at number 4. So that's so important phase for any test batting unit. Like we talk about, that is going to be engine room. We talk about that top 4 is always going to be engine room, and I think that's where matter. But I think we have to leave it to the team management, because that is the call. Who is going to, they are going to back that player. Is he going to be comfortable at number 4? If not, then Ajinkya should go.
Yeah, I mean, there we have one more viewer joining us, Ranjan Kumar Sahu, who says that what will be the most challenging thing for Rahane in the next test match? Well, it's challenge it.
Yeah. I think first challenge is like basically like entire nation, and maybe more than entire nation, that Team India should believe like we are here to bounce back. I think that's very, very important. And by that, doing that, winning that small session, as I said, maybe we're not winning 1 hour, maybe in those 15 minutes also, it's going to be important. Like we going there and winning that 15 minutes. I think just taking by inch the game away from them, because you have to fight that every single minute. I believe that to win, or if not win, I think making a draw test match also, that will be a moral victory.
Absolutely, and we will definitely get there. But I have my colleague Prasen asking you, Amre sir, what's difference we can see in Ajinkya Rahane's captaincy when it's compared to Virat Kohli's leadership? Hare Bapre.
Well, I think I personally feel like whoever leading, it can be your different personalities. We talk about we saw when I was young. I think I used to see that beyond Bogue and McEnroe, like both are different personality, but that is their approach to the game. We can't say like has to be someone like that only, because that suits him. And I think they're both are taking a decision for a team India, and I think both are will be make sure like they will be there to see that how the entire team will give the best, and how as a captain you will take best from every player. I think that matters. Sometimes that's a personality, but I think both Virat and Ajinkya's role will be always same, to see that he is taking the best from the every player, and see that team India is playing like a like a champion. That's what the both captain, you be aggressive, or you can be calm and composed, but ultimately from inside like you are there to deliver basically.
Amre sir, did you have a word with Ajinkya in last 3-4 days? How is he feeling? How is he? Is he feeling the pressure? Is he, because of captaincy coming on his shoulder? There's a lot of people looking up to him. How is he feeling?
Well, I think before the tour only he was aware of that, isn't it? It doesn't happen like suddenly it happened like the captaincy. We know like it's a good part of Virat also. He was clear about his thought, what he's going to do. So I think Team India management also got the time what they are doing. So Ajinkya was also aware, like after that, whatever the result in a first test match, he has to do and do this job for a Team India. So obviously everyone wanted to be like going there one up in the test match. But that's cricket. It can't go what you imagine. I think that's cricket throws you so many questions, and I think that's what he's going to go and take that team. He's got a more responsibility now to take, and he's aware of that. He has to balance himself as a player and as a balance as a captain.
I mean, with responsibility, do you think even your cricketing skills also shows a lot of maturity, a lot of calmness? Isn't it? It doesn't happen like that on the field.
No, you come again. What you said, like
I'm saying when you have responsibility on your shoulder, does
Yeah.
it calm you down? Does it? We have seen Virat Kohli is very vibrant. He's very energized. He's like used to bat, used to tap the bat so hard on the field. So, do you think with responsibility, there is the pressure of responsibility? Does it weighs down on a person like Rahane, kind of a person who's leading India after a long break? Last time he led was in 2017. So how do you see that?
Well, I think the bottom line is like it's a challenging situation, to be honest. Like it is not that going to be that easy. Whereas we talk about last tour, this Australian team was different. We know they were without Warner and Smith. This time we know like so Warner was not there, but anytime he can be fit, and Smith is going to be there. So I think these are the challenges, and it's a good challenges, because we wanted to go and play against the best. That's the bottom line. And I think for that, when I personally believe when it's courage is such a thing, it comes out only when the difficult situation. And right now that the situation is that, like, to show that even not only the skill, your mental toughness is also the courage. I think that's matter in a test cricket.
So, and what's the best way to tackle someone hurling the ball at 145 and also moving in and out of of away from the wicket, coming into the right hander? So, how do you tackle that in Australia? What's the best way to do it?
Yeah, coming to the position is so important, and you come in a position with your good footwork. That's so important. Like the footwork gives you that position, coming in the line of the ball or besides of the line of the ball. So because it depend on, and also like having a strong defense, I think that can be a very critical. You survive for a good ball, that is also moral victory. In fact, it's not like if we talk about playing positive, but the selection of shots always matter on a wicket like Australia. You just can't go. We also saw that the Australian in the first inning, they wanted to be. Sometimes they look more aggressive, and that the result wasn't that good for them also. So it is so important to see that decision making and playing on the merit of the ball. Those small things, but I think that really matters.
Absolutely, and thanks for giving so much of positive thoughts for Team India. We all want India to come back strong. And we have only lost one game, 3 more matches still to be played, a lot of cricket to be played. So what do you want to tell those impatient fans, people who have knee-jerk reaction that it's all over, till it's not over? We saw it in that Adelaide test match. What are your suggestions for them?
Well, I think as a we also like that's the era where right now we are also the lover of Test cricket. Like last recent past last 10 years, the cricket has changed. But I think to us, we are also from the old school where we really love Test cricket, and I think that is what we wanted to see, like a Test cricket. We saw like how after that in a COVID time, how important that IPL was there to see that it gave the pleasure of everyone, like watching the live cricket, isn't it? And that is what I think we wanted to see right now also. Like we are there. Yes, it's going to be a tough time, but so important also as a cricket lover. And I think maybe the cricket lover, I would like to say, like red ball has to be there for a long time. And I personally thank Australian cricket also. They really, like they manage that such a way, like a tradition there. We saw like even a crowd also comes there in a thing. It's so many times we saw like on a Boxing Day, it's a full house. And I think that is what we wanted to see, like cricket is coming back after this a tough time of what happened in the entire world. And I think, to be honest, like it is, we wanted to see that like entire cricket, every cricket lover is enjoying. Result is a different, but we wanted to see like a good quality cricket. That's what we are all wanted to see. And why not? I believe like there are going to be opportunity for a newcomer, as you said. Like for us also, we went there and we got opportunity, got 100 there. And I think that's also possible. Like any newcomer will come, who knows, he can finish with the 500 runs for a series for Team India, and he can be a big star for the next coming years. So I think we have to think on those lines also. Like there are a couple of boys who are capable, who can do that job. We have a senior players right now in the team who can take the responsibility on our shoulder. And also we can have a bowling unit, we can get us a 20 wicket. I think that's what we have to believe. We have to pray that we will not give those chances what we gave in the first test match, because then our bowling unit's role becomes more tougher. So I think we can do that much better. I think I always believe fielding in is always in our hand. So I think that's we should take care about that in like a matches what we are in that preparation also. Like the slip catching is going to be very very important, I think. So I think we have to do that. And maybe the runouts, because we saw like sometimes the runouts change the game. So why not we also alert and think about those positive things, like we can also get one run out that can also change the match.
Sir, before we let you go, one more question from my colleague, Prasen. He's talked about you talked about the slip cordon. He says, what's the story behind Rahane developing as a superb slip catching specialist?
Well, I can see like his preparations, because you should also see his practice sessions. How many catches he takes, and in fast bowling, he takes a different left arm angle. He takes the catches differently. Spinners, because every bowler in Team India is a different. Because taking a catch against Jadeja in sleep is a different. Taking catch against Ashwin is a different. So I think that is what I think he learned from. I can say from his role model Rahul Dravid. I think he was. I think he has the one who got maximum catches in a slip, and I think he's following his footstep, because I think he is as safe as a Rahul Dravid in a slip cordon, which is very important. I think again we can come back to that. We want his runs and as well as we want his catches, because he's the one who holds the record for a maximum catches in a test. So I think that is what also critical, because I can give that credit to his the preparations, the way he does practice sessions. He does those catching practice he does in a practice sessions.
So it's always the practice which makes a lot of difference to the end result. We hope India would come back strongly in the next test match. Pravin Amre sir, thanks a lot for coming on SK Live. As always, you're so willing, and you came and shared your sentiments on your favorite student Ajinkya Rahane, who's going to lead that side for the first time like a proper captain, not a stand-in captain, of course, but he's going to lead the side. And for 3 test matches, not for 1 test match. That really it'll make or break kind of a situation for India. We hope they come back strongly. And thanks a lot, sir, again for coming on SK Live. It was a pleasure hosting you.
My pleasure. Thank you, and just keep supporting Team India.
Absolutely, we all that's our job, right? To support for the best cricket team, and Indian team is one of the best in the world. So we support, and it's our national team. There's no reason not to support.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you to see that. Thank you.
Bye.